We are anonymous. No faces, no flags, no permission slips. And today it's Trump Friday. But the main character is Melania. Don't worry, Donald is still in every frame. Like a bad smell you can't open, a window fast enough to escape. So let's set the scene. Melania is out here acting like she's discovered a brand new invention, the idea that every thought she has is automatically genius. You know the vibe. The book was such a success. I'm proud I get so many messages and letters. My fans want to hear more from me. And honestly, that kind of self-hype makes sense when you're married to a man who talks like a cartoon mob boss. Because this is the same Donald Trump who goes on camera. We are going to do something on Greenland, whether they like it or not. Like, what is that? A foreign policy plan or a drunk guy ordering appetizers? And then he follows it up with the classic, I would like to make a deal, you know, the easy way. But if we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way. The man speaks exclusively in threats, wrapped in toddler vocabulary. So Melania looks at that and thinks, yes, this is the energy. Let me make a movie. And not just any movie. She wants a documentary snapshot of what it takes to move back into the White House. She even brags, I don't think a first lady has ever done this. And she's right. Because no first lady has ever done it before. Because it's delusional. It's like filming a victory lap while you're still tripping over your own shoelaces. Now here's where it gets juicy. The film, titled Melania, is reportedly struggling so badly to sell tickets that the GOP allegedly started running interference, like stage moms at a failing middle school talent show. Reports say Republican clubs in conservative areas have been buying out blocks of theater seats, sometimes entire screenings, to make it look like people actually want to be there. And then they offer those seats for free, or at steep discounts to members and guests, even pushing them through GOP-affiliated websites. Because nothing screams mass appeal like political party coupon codes. One insider basically admitted the quiet part out loud. This isn't real demand, it's optics. Empty theaters look terrible. And apparently it's gotten so bad that in some places they're struggling to give the tickets away. Let that sink in. Free tickets. And people are still like, no thanks, I'd rather stare at a wall. And it gets even weirder. Some locations reportedly started asking for attendees' personal details just to reserve a seat, which turned people off even more because it starts feeling less like a movie night and more like a loyalty check. Like, congrats, you're allowed to watch this documentary, but first state your full name and prove you've clapped for Trump at least 3 times this week. Meanwhile, Melania keeps insisting she's just the supportive wife. You've heard her lines. Sometimes he listens, sometimes he doesn't. I'm here to support him. And when people call her complicit, they say I'm complicit. I'm the same like him. I support him. I don't say enough. She wants to play shocked. But ma'am, you're not a bystander. You're literally editing the script sometimes, jumping into speech prep and changing language. That's not I'm just here. That's I'm on the team. And yes, Donald is still doing the dictator thing, foot on the gas, thumb on the scale, trying to force applause for something that clearly isn't landing. He can't handle rejection. He can't handle reality. He can't handle a theater full of empty seats because empty seats don't chant his name. Now let's talk about the UK, because the internet over there smelled blood in the water. Reports say UK ticket sales were also poor across 100 cinemas set to show the documentary. And people on X were posting updates like it was a live scoreboard of humiliation. One person claimed they were laughing so hard they scared their dog and almost peed their pants because the marketing spend was massive and the turnout looked microscopic. Another joked the single ticket sold might become a collector's item. Someone else checked their local cinema and saw none sold. One place reportedly put it in the smallest room with 44 seats. Brutal. And here's the part that makes this whole thing smell like desperation. Multiple outlets report Amazon MGM paid around $40 million for the documentary rights and then spent about $35 million more on marketing numbers that people in the industry are side-eyeing hard. The film's director is Brett Ratner, yes, that Brett Ratner whose Hollywood reputation has been radioactive for years after misconduct allegations. Yet somehow this project still gets a glossy rollout and a fancy premiere. And Melania, she's not damped at all. She went on X after a private White House screening, calling it a historic moment, saying she was deeply humbled to be surrounded by friends, family, and cultural iconoclasts, and talking about our mutual obligation to one another like she's narrating a perfume commercial in a thunderstorm. Then right as the buzz turns into mockery, we get the big show, a Kennedy Center premiere where Trump shows up praising her as smart and measured, while Melania calls the film beautiful, emotional, fashionable. Because if there's one thing this family understands, it's branding slap enough adjectives on the box and hope nobody opens it. So what is the documentary actually about? The logline says it chronicles the first 20 days leading up to Trump's inauguration for a second presidential term, told from the First Lady's perspective, critical meetings, private conversations, and never-before-seen environments, plus how she navigates the complexities of the family's return to the White House. But let's be real, the complexities are just the consequences of hitching your entire identity to Donald Trump, an ego with a spray tan and a grudge list. This is the guy who shrugs at cruelty with that same dead-eyed confidence. We've all heard the excuses. What about the children separated? Give me a break. I was trying to get the kid reunited with the mom. It's always a story, always spin, always trust me, never accountability. And Melania herself, remember the Christmas gripe? I'm working my ass. Who gives a about Christmas stuff and decoration? But I need to do it right. That's the vibe of this entire project. Perform the role, resent the work, demand applause anyway. Honestly, Melania should dust off that infamous jacket that said, "I don't care, do you?" Because at this point, the answer from the public looks pretty official. No, we don't. Not your documentary, not your staged hype, not your paid-for seats, not your historic moment cosplay. So here's my question to you. If they need party clubs to buy out theaters and practically beg people to attend, what does that tell you about the story they're trying to sell and the reality they're trying to hide? Hit like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment too. Would you watch this documentary if the ticket was free? Or would you rather sit in silence for 2 hours and call it cinema? We are anonymous, we are everywhere, and we do not forget.